Jesus and his disciples left the Gentile side of the lake and went back to the Jewish side, where a large crowd was waiting for him. Suddenly, a man by the name of Jairus ran up and fell down before the Lord. He was a ruler of the synagogue. He said, "Lord, my daughter is about to die. She's only 12 years old. Please come and heal her." Jesus agreed. So he and his disciples followed Jairus towards his house, and a large crowd followed along. As they were going down the road, they passed by the home of a woman who had a bleeding disorder for 12 years. Oh, many doctors had tried to help her, but she only got worse. Till finally, her money was gone. When she heard that Jesus was going by, she thought to herself, if I could just get close enough where I could touch the tassel on his cloak, then I would be healed, and no one would need to know what I had done. So she went out into the crowd and made her way close enough where she could reach out and touch the hem of his garment. Instantly, she knew she was healed. Jesus felt the power go from his body. He looked around and said, "Who touched me?" Peter looked at the crowd and said, "Lord, what do you mean? Who touched you? Look at this crowd." Jesus ignored him and just continued to look around for the person who had touched him. When the woman realized that she couldn't hide what she had done, she was afraid and went and knelt down before the Lord, trembling. Jesus said, "Oh, don't be afraid. Your faith has healed you. You can go home now. That disease will not return." While they were talking, some men came and said to Jairus, "You don't need to bother the master any longer. Your daughter has died." Jesus heard them, said to Jairus, "Don't be afraid. Just believe in me." So they followed Jairus onto his house to find that the mourners had already arrived, were crying real loud and playing the mournful flute. Jesus said, "Why are you making all this noise? The girl is simply asleep." They laughed at him, saying, because they knew she was dead. So Jesus just had them removed from the house. He then took Jairus and his wife, Peter, James, and John, and went to the place where they had laid the body. Jesus walked over and reached out and took the hand of the child and said, "Child, get up." With that, the girl opened her eyes and then sat up. The parents just watched all this in amazement. Jesus said, "Get her something to eat." He then said, "You're not to tell anyone about what happened here." Oh, oh. But the news of that spread throughout that entire area. Oh.